So,
Yes.
Listen, there's two things in our business. Certainly when I'm hosting a show like this one, there's being right. Okay. There's being right and being heard. Those are two things of very important. Okay. Being right and accurate and being heard. There are many people in this end of the business who only care about being heard.
I know some of those people.
I'm not one of them. I like being right. Okay. And so when I say what I feel from this chair, it's because I feel I'm in the right, or I am accurate, or I am voicing something that could be right, may not be right, but could be right. And I don't, I'm not saying about being heard. So I think what you're, if my inference skills are, my spidey sense is tingling right now. That when I said I was wondering why Mike Macdonald would come in and remove, from what I heard, all the photographs of the Pete Carroll era, that why couldn't he just still install his way of doing things while not erasing other aspects of the building? And you're showing me there that there are still many references to pre-Mike Macdonald years in Seattle. But the fact that you mentioned Dave Pearson, who's a fantastic man at his job in our world.
Very good.
I was heard, is what you're telling me right now, Ian.
I mean, I think at least you were heard, and I guess it's possible you were also right, but at least we have confirmed that you were heard. And I do understand, though, because when you have a new coach who come in, and I just spent a while with Mike Macdonald just a couple minutes ago.
Yes.
It is young, it is fresh, it feels different. Now, there's some familiar things, like practice is still very intense. Players still do like to compete. Now, always compete is not going to be his thing, because that was Pete's thing. But the general principle of making sure that every job is thoroughly earned, I think, is going to be something that's going to be a tenet of this program. But to me, I would say similar to going to the Chargers. Was that yesterday? No, 2 days ago.
Yes.
And seeing the Jim Harbaugh era and a brand new building and a new fit and everything being new, like, new coaches get the chance to be like, you know what, I'm gonna start over. And so I think that's what Mike Macdonald is doing, and obviously I think that's what Jim Harbaugh is doing in Los Angeles too.
So how is it different? I mean, you mentioned how there's a certain difference in Seattle, because that to me is that's the question, right? That one way of doing things, we've seen that obviously. There was 20 plus years of the way doing things in New England is one thing. The fact that Pete's way of doing things is now out of the building, literally, and sometimes off a wall, not off the wall, but off a wall, like you pointed out. How will it manifest, do you think?
Well, I think first of all, it skews way younger. I mean, just, and not that that's good or bad. That's just kind of what it is, right? I mean, you have two coordinators who are Ad and Dirty from the Cowboys, who I actually spent some time with them yesterday. They could not say enough good things about the Seahawks' new defensive coordinator, who was with them for a while. Also, one of the very cool international stories that we had. Grubb, the offensive coordinator, also a little bit younger, and Macdonald is, basically the Sean McVay, but defense and not as blonde. That's just, and I think the thing with Pete, he was always so energetic and upbeat, and he never felt old, but he was the oldest coach in the NFL. And that comes with a certain, way of doing things. And so I would expect things to be a little fresher here. Also, the defense is going to change. You're going to see a little more of the kind of Wink Martindale pressure-based, defense here. And I think Mike Macdonald showed very well last year with the Baltimore Ravens that he can take this to absolutely the next level. I mean, one of the really, really bright young defensive minds in the NFL. I think everyone, look, you don't know until you play, but everyone I've talked to knew that Mike Macdonald was going to get a job. The fact that Seattle got him, I think, was a big deal for them. And I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what's in store for us.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.